Hello, everyone. Welcome to your channel, where we learn English through real, inspiring stories. Today, we're diving into the amazing story of Honda, one of the most famous brands in the world. You'll learn how one man's dream changed the world of cars and motorcycles forever. But this isn't just a history lesson. It's a chance for you to practice your English. Listen carefully to the end of the story, and I will help you with key vocabulary in the description below, in blue on the text. By the end, you'll not only know more about Honda, but you'll also improve your listening and speaking skills. Are you ready? Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Dreamer, Soichiro Honda's Early Life. Our story begins in a small, quiet village called Komio in Japan. It was the year 1906, and this is where a boy named Soichiro Honda was born. Soichiro's father, Gihei Honda, was a blacksmith. A blacksmith is someone who works with metal, making tools, repairing equipment, and crafting useful items. His mother, Mika, was a weaver, which means she made cloth by hand. The family wasn't wealthy, but they worked hard to make ends meet. From a very young age, Soichiro was fascinated by machines. He loved taking things apart to see how they worked. One day, when he was just a child, he saw something that would change his life forever: a car. In those days, cars were very rare in Japan, especially in small villages like Komio. Soichiro was so excited that he ran after the car, breathing in the smell of gasoline and listening to the roar of the engine. That moment sparked a dream in his heart, a dream to work with machines and engines. But life wasn't easy for Soichiro. He wasn't very interested in school, and his grades weren't great. He preferred to spend his time tinkering with tools and machines. His teachers often scolded him for not paying attention in class. However, Soichiro didn't let this discourage him. He believed that hands-on experience was more important than book learning. When Soichiro was 15 years old, he decided to leave home and move to Tokyo, the big city. He wanted to learn more about machines and engines, so he became an apprentice at a car repair shop called Art Shokai. An apprentice is someone who learns a skill by working with an expert. Soichiro worked long hours, cleaning tools, sweeping floors, and helping the mechanics. But he didn't mind the hard work because he was learning something he loved. One of Soichiro's first big achievements came when he was just 16 years old. The shop owner asked him to repair a car that no one else could fix. Soichiro worked day and night, using his creativity and problem-solving skills. Finally, he fixed the car, and the owner was so impressed that he gave Soichiro more responsibilities. This was the beginning of Soichiro's journey as an inventor and engineer. Chapter 2. The First Steps, Honda's Early Career. After years of working as an apprentice, Soichiro Honda decided it was time to start his own business. In 1928, at the age of 22, he opened a car repair shop in his hometown. He called it the Honda Motor Repair Shop. Soichiro was known for his creativity and ability to solve problems in new ways. For example, one day, a customer came to him with a broken car wheel. The wheel needed new spokes, but Soichiro didn't have the right materials. Instead of giving up, he used wooden spokes to fix the wheel. The customer was amazed, and word spread about Soichiro's clever solutions. But Soichiro didn't just want to fix cars, he wanted to build them. In the 1930s, he started a company called Tokai Seiki, which made piston rings. Piston rings are small but important parts of a car engine. They help the engine run smoothly by sealing the gap between the piston and the cylinder. At first, Soichiro's company struggled because his piston rings weren't very good. They often broke or didn't fit properly. But Soichiro didn't give up. He went back to school to learn more about engineering and metallurgy, which is the science of working with metals. He studied hard and improved his designs. Eventually, Soichiro's piston rings became so good that Toyota, one of the biggest car companies in Japan, started buying them. This was a huge achievement for Soichiro and his company. However, World War II brought new challenges. During the war, Japan's factories were focused on making weapons and military equipment. Soichiro's company was forced to work on war-related projects, and many of his factories were destroyed by bombings. After the war, Japan was in ruins, and people were struggling to rebuild their lives. Soichiro knew he had to find a new way to help. Chapter 3. The Birth of Honda Motor Company. After World War II, Japan was a very different place. Many people were poor, and they couldn't afford cars. But they still needed a way to get around. Soichiro Honda saw an opportunity to help. He noticed that bicycles were very popular because they were cheap and easy to use. But bicycles were slow, and people had to pedal hard to get anywhere. Soichiro had an idea. What if he could attach a small engine to a bicycle? This would make it faster and easier to ride. Soichiro started experimenting with small engines. He used engines from old military generators and attached them to bicycles. The result was a simple but effective motorcycle. People loved it because it was affordable and practical. In 1948, Soichiro founded the Honda Motor Company to produce these motorcycles. He called his first model the Dream D-Type because it represented hope and a better future. The Dream D-Type was a huge success, and soon, Honda was producing thousands of motorcycles. But Soichiro wasn't satisfied. He wanted to make his motorcycles even better. He believed that racing was the best way to improve his designs. In the 1950s, Honda started entering motorcycle races to test his machines. At first, his motorcycles didn't do very well. They often broke down or couldn't keep up with the competition. But Soichiro didn't give up. He kept improving his designs and learning from his mistakes. In 1961, Honda motorcycles won their first Grand Prix race in Europe. This was a huge achievement and put Honda on the map as a serious motorcycle manufacturer. Soichiro's dream was coming true, but he wasn't done yet. He wanted to challenge the best in the world. In the 1960s, Honda entered the Isle of Man TT, one of the most famous motorcycle races in the world. Honda's motorcycles won several races, and the company became known for its innovation and quality. Chapter 4. From Motorcycles to Cars. By the 1960s, Honda was already a household name in Japan and was gaining recognition worldwide for its motorcycles. But Soichiro Honda wasn't satisfied with just being a motorcycle company. He had a bigger dream: to build cars. Many people thought this was a risky move. Japan already had big car companies like Toyota and Nissan, and the market was very competitive. But Soichiro believed that Honda could make cars that were different, cars that were small, efficient, and fun to drive. In 1963, Honda introduced its first car, the T360. It was a small, lightweight truck designed for businesses. The T360 was powered by a tiny 356 cubic centimeters engine, which made it perfect for carrying light loads around cities. It was an instant hit in Japan because it was affordable and practical. Later that same year, Honda launched the S500, a two-seater sports car. The S500 was a bold move for Honda because it showed that the company could make cars that were not only practical but also exciting to drive. The S500 had a high-revving engine and could reach speeds of up to 80 miles per hour, which was impressive for a small car at the time. But Honda didn't stop there. In 1967, they introduced the N360, a small, compact car designed for everyday use. The N360 was perfect for Japan's narrow streets and tight parking spaces. It was also very fuel-efficient, which made it popular during a time when people were becoming more conscious of fuel costs. The N360 was so successful that it became one of the best-selling cars in Japan. One of Honda's most important innovations during this time was the CVCC engine, compound vortex controlled combustion. In the 1970s, Many countries were introducing stricter pollution laws, and car companies were struggling to meet these new standards. Honda's CVCC engine was a breakthrough because it produced fewer emissions without needing a catalytic converter, which was expensive and complicated. The CVCC engine was first used in the Honda Civic, which was introduced in 1972. The Civic was a game-changer for Honda. It was small, affordable, and very fuel-efficient, which made it perfect for the time. During the 1970s, there was an oil crisis, and people were looking for cars that didn't use a lot of gas. The Civic became a huge success and helped Honda become a global brand. Chapter 5. Honda Goes Global. In the 1970s, Honda began to expand internationally. The company opened its first factory outside of Japan in 1979, in Marysville, Ohio, USA. This was a bold move because it showed that Honda was serious about competing with American car companies like Ford and General Motors. The Marysville factory started by producing motorcycles, but soon it began making cars as well. The first car produced at the Marysville factory was the Honda Accord, which became one of the most popular cars in the United States. The Accord was a perfect example of Honda's philosophy of building cars that were practical, reliable, and fun to drive. It was larger than the Civic, but still affordable and fuel-efficient. The Accord was also known for its high quality and durability. Many people who bought Accords in the 1980s and 1990s still drive them today because they last so long. In 1986, Honda took another big step by introducing the Acura brand. Acura was Honda's luxury brand, designed to compete with companies like BMW and Mercedes-Benz. The first Acura model was the Legend, a luxury sedan that was praised for its smooth ride and advanced features. The Acura brand was a huge success and showed that Honda could make high-quality, luxurious cars as well as affordable ones. Honda's global expansion wasn't just about selling cars. It was also about building relationships with people around the world. The company believed in being a good corporate citizen and giving back to the communities where it operated. For example, Honda donated money to schools, hospitals, and environmental projects. The company also encouraged its employees to volunteer and help their communities. Chapter 6. Innovation and the Future. Honda has always been a company that values innovation. In the 1980s, Honda started working on environmentally friendly cars. The company believed that cars should not only be fun to drive but also good for the planet. In 1999, Honda introduced the Insight, one of the first hybrid cars in the world. A hybrid car uses both gasoline and electricity, which makes it more efficient and better for the environment. The Insight was a small, two-seater car that could get up to 70 miles per gallon, which was unheard of at the time. The success of the Insight paved the way for other hybrid cars, like the Honda Civic Hybrid and the Honda Accord Hybrid. These cars were popular because they offered the same reliability and performance as regular cars but with much better fuel efficiency. Honda's commitment to the environment didn't stop there. In 2008, the company introduced the FCX Clarity, a car that runs on hydrogen fuel cells. Hydrogen fuel cells produce electricity by combining hydrogen and oxygen, and the only byproduct is water. This makes hydrogen fuel cell cars one of the cleanest forms of transportation available. Honda's innovation isn't limited to cars. The company has also been a leader in robotics. In 2000, Honda introduced Asimo, a humanoid robot that could walk, run, and even climb stairs. Asimo was designed to help people, especially those with disabilities or limited mobility. While Asimo is no longer in production, it showed the world that Honda was thinking about the future and how technology could improve people's lives. Today, Honda is working on new technologies like self-driving cars and electric vehicles. The company believes that the future of transportation is electric, and it has set a goal to make all of its cars electric or hydrogen-powered by 2040. Honda is also investing in renewable energy and working to reduce its carbon footprint. Chapter 7. The Legacy of Soichiro Honda. Soichiro Honda passed away in 1991, but his legacy lives on. He was a man who believed in the power of dreams and hard work. He once said, "Success is 99% failure." This means that you have to keep trying, even when things are hard. Soichiro's life is a perfect example of this philosophy. He faced many challenges, but he never gave up. He started with nothing and built one of the most successful companies in the world. Honda's success isn't just about making great cars and motorcycles. It's about the values that Soichiro instilled in the company. Honda is known for its commitment to quality, innovation, and the environment. The company believes in making products that improve people's lives and protect the planet. Soichiro Honda also believed in the importance of teamwork. He often said that a company is only as good as its employees. Honda encourages its employees to be creative and take risks. The company also values diversity and believes that people from different backgrounds can bring new ideas and perspectives. Chapter 8. What we can learn from Honda's story. So, what can we learn from Honda's story? First, never be afraid to follow your dreams, even if they seem impossible. Soichiro Honda started with nothing, but he believed in his vision and worked hard to make it a reality. Second, don't be afraid to fail. Failure is just a step on the path to success. Soichiro faced many challenges, but he never gave up. Finally, always look for ways to help others and make the world a better place. Honda's commitment to the environment and community shows that a company can be successful while also doing good. Honda's story is an inspiration to us all. It shows that with hard work, creativity, and determination, anything is possible. So, the next time you see a Honda car or motorcycle, remember the man behind the brand, Soichiro Honda, and his incredible journey. I hope you enjoyed learning English through stories and picked up some new words and phrases along the way. The vocabulary is in the description below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to your channel for more stories like this. Also, let us know in the comments what other stories you like to hear about. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.